Hey, what's up, guys? It's Carlos here. Let's talk. The voice of El Paso. So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. But you're like, Carlos, are you in your backyard again? Yeah, I actually like kind of doing my videos back here now too, as well as in the car. So, you'll see these a little bit more often. Um, like I said last time, you'll probably hear my dog barking in the background. So don't mind her. She's just doing her dog thing. All right, so let's talk about it. Well, this Matchroom versus Queensberry. My bad. 5 on 5. I guess 5 on 5s now are the thing that everybody's going to. I actually don't have a problem with it. Only thing is, excuse me. Now I have to remember more. And if you know me personally, you know that I have a terrible memory, so I have to take notes now. These guys got me doing like homework. It's not cool, but I'm cool with it, I guess. I'm having a good time. Anyways, I only caught the last 3 fights, only because, well, for one, I couldn't find anybody that had the fight, and two is I may or may not have taken a 45-minute, hour-long nap at my house. Um, Shout out to Colby Kobe Lobby is his name. He had the fight on here on TikTok live, so I did get to. That's how I watched the last few fights. So shout outs to him, Kobe Lobby. Hey, thanks man for holding it. Check out his videos. Dude's got a solid page. All right, so the first fight I caught was Bivol versus Malik. All right. Before I even get into that, it really seemed like tonight the word of the day was zero preparation for your opponent's strengths and weaknesses. Now, let me get into that real quick. So, I'm a firm believer in you fight or you train, whatever your sport is, you make your opponent compete at your strengths and you force them to play your game, and your weaknesses you try to disguise them and hide them with other things that you're good at doing. That's just my perspective on it. And the amateurs, like as most of you know, I do follow the amateurs here in El Paso. It's impossible to know who you're gonna fight. I mean, you could look them up, but a majority of the time you don't know what you're getting into, right? So you just gotta train and go in there and outscore your opponent. But at the pros, there's really no excuse, in my opinion, to not know what your opponent is bringing to the table. If they're a puncher, if they're a brawler, if they're a boxer, you should know all of that by now. And if you don't, I feel like you're just setting yourself up to make your life more miserable. Like me, I've always said this. I may not always be the strongest, I may not always be the fastest, but I'm always trying to be one of the smartest. Everything I do is always calculated. Um, that's just how I do things, right? That's even the basketball team that I coach. I try to implement that. We go off of past experiences and historical data and things like that. And yeah, it's middle school, but it's teaching these kids next level preparation, right? Because they need that in life. All right, so moving on. I felt there was none of that tonight. None of that. When Malik fought Bivol, he just stood in front of Bivol and like exchanged jabs, and I'm like, bro, that's not how you beat Bivol. Right now, there's no code to crack Bivol. That's a problem. We haven't seen it yet. Eventually, somebody will develop it. But it hasn't happened, right? So, I mean, the thing about Bivol, and he showed this tonight, he's a strong fighter. He's very precise with his punches. He's fast. His IQ is up there, and his in and out is superb. And about the only thing Malik could do was throw jabs. I think he may have won maybe a round, and I feel that one round that they gave him was a pity round. I would have still said that Bivol might have even won that one. And obviously he got dropped and it ended, and so Nothing. Malik showed he had heart, but he definitely showed that he is not on Bivol's level yet. You know, he was slow. His punches became predictable. He didn't throw nothing behind the jab. He wasn't trying to throw combinations. A couple times he did. It was like, okay, you're looking successful now. But he just did. Overall, he didn't do that. And he didn't look like he was truly prepared to get in there and fight with Bivol. I mean, it's more than. I'm a firm believer in being prepared to fight somebody is more than your physical, although that plays a huge part, but also your mental and your understanding of what the other guy's going to do and what he's capable of, right? You kind of got to know he likes to throw this punch, he likes to step in this direction. If he steps that way, it's because he's setting up this punch. You know, and granted, you know, Bivol said it. He's one of those guys. He'll adapt in the situation, and that's fair. But at least you have an idea of what you're going into. I'm like, God damn, bro. Yeah, nah, niet. Anyways, let's move on. Dubois versus. Please don't come for me in the comments section. I don't know how to say his name. I think it's Hergovich. I think that's how you say it. And I'm going to go with H just because that's easier. Or Philip, because that's his first name. We'll say Philip. That's easier. I've seen him fight before, and he shows that he can do his thing. But, you know, tonight it seemed like he was like, look, I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to punch Dubois, and Dubois is going to fall down, and that's going to be the end of it. And Dubois came in looking fit, looking ready to go, you know, and he had that look like, yo, man, you're big, you're strong, but you got heavy hands, but you gonna know who I am by the end of tonight. And he did. He cut him a few times to the point where the doctor called the fight. I mean, that was a solid move. Just keep tagging him. And I think it would have gotten worse had the fight lasted all 12 rounds. I think the fight was decisively going in Dubois' direction. I would say around about the third or so. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe these guys were overconfident. I don't know. But yeah. And the last one was Wilder versus Shane. And if you follow me and you see, I supported, and I generally thought Wilder was going to show us something. I was supporting the guy. I wanted him to, you know. And then Zhang hit him. Zhang hit him and turned him into a human top. And then he finished him off. But why did that happen? I'm going to tell you, I think Wilder, again, didn't throw no combinations, trying to be a sniper in there. Look, man, Zhang is a big dude, and he's hurt everybody that he's fought that stands in front of him. The dude was 60 pounds heavier than Wilder, 60 plus, somewhere around there. Point was that Wilder should have been moving and just wearing him down with just movement. Throw your combinations, get out, use lateral movement, engage in, pull back, pull twos, 1-2, slip 2, 1-3-1, 1-3-3-5. 1-3-3-4-2, something, man. Put some combinations together. Boom, 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 Even the simple 1-2-3-2. I think those would have held some effect. And they probably would have thrown Zhang's kind of his rhythm off. But he doesn't really fight with rhythm. So you just kind of got to keep his hands blocking and defending so that way he doesn't get going, because those shots are big. And he's a southpaw on top of that. So, I mean, once again, Wilder just showed us that he needs to retire, in my opinion. He needs to go. And Zhang, on the other hand, dude just stayed moving forward. And yeah, of course, I would stay moving forward too. Because dude's not moving right, dude's not moving left. Yeah, and even when, while they was throwing those jabs and such, you'd see it, boom, slight little slips. He slipped like 3 or 4 punches, just a little slight head movement, boom, miss, boom, miss. Now I can set up my shots. And it worked, and that's how he spun him like a top. And, you know, what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? It was crazy. Well, no, it wasn't. But I definitely am feeling this 5-on-5 thing that they got going on. I hope they continue. I just don't like having to do, like, I hate taking notes and stuff, but it's okay. Um, you know, do I think that Bivol is ready for Better Beaver? Yeah, I definitely think he's ready for Better Beaver. Um, so definitely we'll see what the future holds. I'm excited. As always, this is Carlos at Let's Talk, the voice of El Paso. Peace.